My brother's gold digger girlfriend convinced my family to kick me out of my own house, saying I didn't deserve luxury. So I let them think they'd won, then pulled the rug out from all of them so hard they're still tumbling in financial ruin. I was barefoot in my own house when my brother's girlfriend told me I didn't deserve luxury. Not even joking. Those were her exact words. I just walked out of my bedroom with a laundry basket when I heard her, standing in the kitchen with a glass of my wine in one hand and my mother on speakerphone. "Trust me," she said, loud and slow like I was the help. "He's wasting this place. He doesn't need this kind of space. It's honestly selfish. My name's Kyle. I'm 32. Quiet guy, software engineer, kinda nerdy. Bought this house 3 years ago after a startup buyout and some lucky crypto timing. It's a sleek, modern thing on a hillside in Santa Cruz. Glass walls, ocean view, open concept everything. I worked like hell to get it. Never flashed the wealth, just wanted comfort, peace. Then my little brother Tyler, 28, showed up needing a few weeks to reset. He'd just gotten dumped, again, and somehow I became the emotional Airbnb. I love him, I do, but Tyler's always been chaos in a hoodie. He brings the storm. This time, the storm had a name, Ashley, 26. Blonde, surgically suspicious, and weapon-grade manipulative. She moved in 2 days after he did, uninvited. Just appeared with a pink suitcase and started calling my espresso machine our coffee setup. Things went downhill fast. She made herself queen of the house, rearranged my living room, posted home tour, TikToks without asking, invited her influencer friends to film a skincare promo in my bathtub. But the worst part? She was nice to my family, sickeningly nice. She made my mom feel glamorous, complimented her wine taste, even faked interest in my dad's stamp collection. They ate it up. Within weeks, the narrative flipped. According to them, Ashley was a breath of fresh air. Tyler was finally getting serious. And I, Kyle, homeowner, provider, introvert, was now moody, standoffish, territorial. It was Ashley's idea to restructure living arrangements. She said it like we were on a board of directors. At a family dinner in my own house, she floated the idea that I move out. Kyle clearly prefers solitude. It's unfair to expect him to host a growing couple. Tyler didn't defend me. Not once. Just stared at his plate. I tried to laugh it off, thinking nobody would actually back her. Then my mom asked, "Wouldn't it be better for your energy, Kyle?" And my dad, looking at Ashley like she was a Nobel laureate, said, "You don't even use most of the space, son. Maybe it's time to downsize." They ganged up on me, in my kitchen, eating my food, drinking my wine, and suggesting I leave the home I bought, the only place I've ever truly felt safe. That night, Ashley said the line, "You don't deserve luxury, Kyle. You don't even enjoy it." She smirked when she said it, like she'd won. And that's when I decided they could have the house. All of them, for now. Let them think they'd won. Let them pop champagne in the hot tub I installed, blast music through the Sonos system I calibrated by hand, and call it their space. I would disappear, go silent, recede, but not for long. Because what they didn't know, what none of them even bothered to ask, is that I never put the house in my own name. They thought I was weak, quiet, replaceable. They had no idea I was the storm. I didn't pack a suitcase, didn't slam doors or yell. That's not how I do things. I left after breakfast like it was any other morning. Keys in hand, hoodie up, just another quiet exit. Tyler barely looked up from the couch. Ashley was filming some TikTok about manifesting a new era. I gave her a smile she didn't understand and walked out the door. For the first 2 days, I stayed at my friend Jules's place in Oakland. She's one of the few people who knew the full story. Former co-founder, practically family, and the only person who didn't treat me like furniture with a credit score. When I told her what happened, she just stared at me for a second and said, "They think they ousted you from your own house?" Then burst out laughing. "Oh, Kyle, this is going to be delicious." Because here's the thing, I never legally owned the house. I didn't need to. It was paid for in full through a shell company I set up during the buyout. Standard startup exit strategy. Keeps your name off the books, protects your privacy, shields your assets from lawsuits. No one in my family had a clue. To them, I was just Kyle, the introvert with the nice house. They didn't know about Oakwater LLC, didn't know I used a trust to manage the property taxes, didn't know the utilities were auto-paid from a business account that I had full control over. They thought I just handed them the keys, walked away. So they got comfortable, too comfortable. Jules and I watched it all unfold online. Ashley posted daily. New beginnings, living our best life in this dreamy spot, manifesting abundance. The content got more obnoxious by the hour. Champagne in my hot tub, rooftop yoga with the caption, "Every queen deserves a castle." Even my parents started dropping by more often. Mom posted a photo of herself on my balcony with the caption, "Family is everything. So proud of these two." She never even asked where I was. And Tyler? He messaged me once. A single text. Hope there's no hard feelings. Ashley just really vibes with the space. You'll understand one day. One day. Like I was some bitter troll who just needed to grow up and let the beautiful people take over. That text was when the anger started to calcify. Not a white-hot rage. More like a slow, freezing burn. Clean. Focused. A glacier moving through my chest. Jules watched me from across her kitchen counter as I reread it for the 5th time. "So, what's the plan?" she asked, already smiling. I looked up, and I told her the truth. I'm going to ruin them. Not in a reckless way. Not some impulsive explosion. No, I was going to make it surgical. Let them climb higher. Let them pose, preen, and post. Then cut the ropes and watch them fall. The first step? Cut the power. Not all at once, just flickers. Flickers that make the lights hum and the Wi-Fi glitch. Nothing they could trace. Just enough to make Ashley's content schedule unpredictable. Next, I changed the Wi-Fi password. Easy. Admin panel. 5 minutes. New network name. You don't live here. It wasn't revenge yet. This was just the weather shifting. The storm hadn't landed, but it was coming. And they'd never see it until it was already inside the house. It took exactly 4 days before Ashley blew up my phone. At first, it was subtle. "Hey Kyle, did the internet go down or something?" Weird. Then, "Can't get into the security system." Keeps saying invalid login. Then, "Dude, are you seriously messing with the Wi-Fi? I have sponsored content due." Each text was increasingly unhinged, like watching a squirrel realize it's in a trap. But I didn't respond. Silence was part of the pressure. By day 5, she called. I didn't pick up. Instead, I pulled up the security camera feed. Yes, I still had full back-end access, and watched her stomp around the living room like a deranged Barbie, throwing couch pillows and waving her phone like it was a magic wand that stopped working. Tyler stood nearby, doing nothing. That was his specialty. She screamed, "It's like this whole house is cursed or something." I was sipping cold brew at Jules's breakfast bar when I heard that, and we both burst out laughing. She nearly spit out her cereal. "Dude, you're haunting your own house." But this wasn't about spooky tricks. It was about tension, discomfort, the erosion of control. I wanted them to start feeling nervous, so I turned off the heat. Middle of March. Oceanfront home. Drafty glass walls. They probably didn't even know where the thermostat was, because I'd installed it via app-only controls. No buttons, no manual override. Then I scheduled a power cycle for the security lights at 3 a.m. Every night. Strobe effect. Floodlights. Inside and out. Sleep-deprived. Cold. Cut off. Still thinking they had squatters' rights in a kingdom they didn't even own. Tyler tried to reset the router. I watched him from the ring cam fumble with cords like a caveman with a toaster. Ashley called again. Left a voicemail this time. "Kyle, babe, listen. I know things got weird, but I really think we need to talk, okay? You can't just ghost your family. We're trying here. Don't be petty." She paused. "And I told your mom you'd probably come around. She said to remind you that family forgives." Family forgives. The woman who told me I didn't deserve luxury was now invoking forgiveness? I almost pitied her, but then she said it. At the end of the voicemail, in the softest voice I'd ever heard her use. "I mean, if you really want to sell, we'd be happy to stay on and, rent from whoever buys it." Like I was dead. Like my name was already off the door. And just like that, the pity burned off like fog in the sun. They'd made themselves at home in a palace they didn't own, built by hands they never noticed. They thought I was done, that I'd sulk off into obscurity. They didn't know I'd been building to something much bigger. It started the next day. I called my lawyer, Sandra, told her it was time. She pulled up the documents for Oakwater LLC and filed a notice to vacate. Official, legal, in writing. Taped to the front door within 48 hours. We couriered it through a private firm. The envelope was gold embossed. Inside just one page. "Your lease has expired. You were never tenants. You were guests. Kindly vacate within 7 days or face formal eviction proceedings." Tyler texted first. "WTF is this, bro? What lease?" Then Ashley. "You can't just kick us out like this. I've been living here." I didn't reply, but I did log into the speaker system and play Bye 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 by NSYNC at full volume throughout the house. Because if I was going to kick them out of my kingdom, I was going to do it with style. I got the video from a neighbor. She said she didn't mean to record it at first, was just taking a walk with her dog, but when she saw Ashley in the driveway, barefoot, mascara streaming down her face, screaming into the sky with Tyler trying to hold her back like some Jersey Shore blooper reel, she couldn't resist. I watched it on loop. Ashley. "He can't do this. I was supposed to host an event this weekend." Tyler. "Babe, just calm down. We'll figure it out. We'll call someone." Ashley. "We are the someone." Tyler. "This was supposed to be ours." She threw her phone. At my Tesla. Screen shattered. Alarm blared. Even the car was done with her. That was day 2 of the 7-day vacate notice. And they still hadn't moved out. Instead, they rallied. Or tried to. They called my parents. and my parents called me. I didn't answer. So my mom showed up at Jules's house. I don't know how she found the address. I hadn't told her. I'm guessing Ashley stalked my Venmo or some dumb breadcrumb like that. I came downstairs and there she was, standing on the porch like I owed her something. She opened with, "Sweetheart, this is all just a big misunderstanding. No greeting, no apology, just straight into gaslight mode." I didn't say anything, just leaned on the doorframe and waited. "We thought you were giving them space. You've been so quiet lately." "You mean after being told I didn't deserve my own house?" Her mouth twitched. "That was taken out of context." "Didn't seem that way on TikTok," I said, pulling out my phone. She flinched when I hit play on a clip of Ashley pouring champagne in my living room while saying, "Manifesting the life Kyle couldn't handle." Mom didn't even try to defend it, just pivoted. "You've always been sensitive, Kyle." There it was. The classic guilt trip, like I was the unstable one, like I'd overreacted to being shoved out of my own home. I stepped out onto the porch and shut the door behind me. "You can tell Tyler and Ashley they've got 3 days left. After that, they'll have to answer to Sandra." "She's really doing this? You're letting a lawyer tear this family apart?" "No," I said calmly. "You did that. When you chose her over me." She actually teared up. That fake, practiced kind of cry where you're not sure if it's grief or just performance. "She's not that bad, Kyle. She's just passionate. Driven." I stared at her. "You raised 2 sons, and you chose the one with no job, no house, and a girlfriend who called me a burden. You never made it easy to love you." That one landed like a punch. No warning. Just bam. Straight in the ribs. She realized what she said half a second too late, and that's when I smiled. "Cool," I said. "Then it's mutual." I turned, went inside, and locked the door behind me. Didn't cry, didn't rage. I just sat on the floor, pressed my head to the cool tile, and whispered, 2 more days. That night, I scheduled the final blow. Sandra had prepped everything, but I wanted the next step to hit harder. Because eviction was just paperwork, I wanted to make them feel it. So I pulled the blueprints and made one tiny adjustment to the smart home system. On day 7, at 7 a.m. sharp, every speaker in the house blared one sentence on loop: "This home is no longer yours." Over and over, 20 minutes, maximum volume, siren mode. They called the cops. The cops told them to leave. And that, my friends, was how the chaos began. Update 1. Welp, Reddit. Y'all really showed up. Didn't expect the post to blow up like it did, but holy hell, some of your comments had me cry laughing. Personal faves. Kyle turned the Wi-Fi into a guillotine. This isn't revenge, it's performance art. And whoever said they gentrified his house and got colonized right back. You deserve a Pulitzer. But let's talk about the fallout, because things escalated fast. After the eviction was served, the meltdown went public. Ashley posted a 3-minute Instagram story montage in full fake cry filter saying she was targeted by a bitter ex-roommate. Hi. And evicted from her safe space during Mental Health Awareness Month. She tagged some healing crystal brand and turned it into a promo code moment. I wish I was joking. Tyler tried to sue me for loss of domestic stability. Didn't work. Sandra ate that motion alive. Turns out squatting in your brother's luxury smart home and drinking his wine for 3 months doesn't qualify as tenancy. Who knew? But the real kicker? My parents disowned me. Not kidding. My mom called, sobbing, saying I'd embarrassed the family, that Ashley lost brand deals, that I ruined Tyler's confidence, and that he's been sleeping on a futon like a refugee. I told her he is a refugee. From consequences. Click. Anyway, they're out now. The house is clean, peaceful, quiet, and I'm not done. Because what comes next? Let's just say the financial rug pull is about to make eviction look like a hug. Be back soon, Reddit. It's about to get biblical. They thought the house was the whole play. They had no idea I was still underwriting most of their lives. See, when you've spent years being the stable one, the generous brother, the tech guy who always helps with bills, people forget just how much you do in the background. I never cut them off. Not really, because I was afraid of what would happen if I did, which is exactly why it was going to hurt. See, I'd set up my family's utilities ages ago. Credit scores were garbage. Tyler's phone plan? On my corporate account. My parents' internet? Still under my old promo contract. The shared Spotify? Me. Ashley's stupid ring light. Plugged into an outlet I technically still paid for. So I went full scorched earth. First, I canceled the family plan. Tyler lost service mid-call with Ashley. Apparently, she was screaming at him to fix this before I lose my brand deals. Next, I locked them out of every shared platform. No Netflix, no Hulu, no Spotify. I renamed the Wi-Fi at my parents' house to Kyle Was Right. Password, Ashley Isabel. Then I pulled the final trigger, the shared insurance account. I'd been helping cover my dad's medical deductibles. Auto-pay, quiet, reliable. He always said it was just temporary until the market bounces back. Well, the market bounced, and so did I. Sandra filed the termination letters herself. Polite, legal, cold. Within 48 hours, my dad's Amex bounced on a pharmacy pickup. Mom's BMW, leased under my name, flagged for missed payments. I'd set it to auto-return. Tow truck picked it up from her yoga class. Public, mortifying, spectacular. And that's when the calls started again. My mom. Kyle, please, your father has high blood pressure. Tyler. Bro, what is wrong with you? Ashley's crying. Dad's flipping out. Ashley. You're obsessed with me. This is harassment. I could press charges. I let it all go to voicemail. Then I sent one group text. Reminder. I don't deserve luxury, so I'm keeping mine. Good luck. Then I blocked every number. Except for one, because now it was Chloe's turn. My sister, 25th. Supposed social media wellness coach. Total Ashley disciple. She once told me I had male energy that disrupts abundance, whatever that means. She'd been the quiet cheerleader in the background, reposting Ashley's pity rants, making snarky comments about toxic masculinity and tech bros. But Chloe made one fatal mistake. She used my Amazon Prime, which meant I had access to her entire shopping history. And guess who was reselling bulk-bought, handmade crystal jewelry she ordered from China? Guess who claimed it was all ethically sourced? Guess whose TikTok storefront said, handcrafted with love? Sandra drafted the email. We CC'd the brand she was ripping off. Screenshot everything. Public record. And just like that, Chloe's account was gone. Her Instagram, locked. Her storefront, banned. Her last video was a shaky, tear-streaked rant about haters manifesting bad vibes. It had 12,000 comments. Most of them were laughing emojis. And while they all scrambled to patch their reputations, I was sitting in a hot tub, drink in hand, watching the sunset from the deck they tried to steal. I didn't just take back what was mine. I reminded them I built everything they ever touched. And now I was burning it down, one log at a time. Tyler went live on Instagram. That's how bad it got. This man, who hasn't worked a real job in years, whose only accomplishment was once catching a pass in a high school JV game, decided the best move after being financially gutted and legally evicted was to go live. He called it setting the record straight. I clicked the notification, fully expecting a train wreck, and read it. It did not disappoint. He sat in some dingy bedroom, probably a friend's couch situation, wearing a hoodie with the hood up, like he was in witness protection. Ashley was off-screen, but you could hear her crying, like a bad soap opera soundtrack. He starts with, "Hey guys, this is hard for me to say, but I've been betrayed by my own brother." Dead serious, like he's the wounded prince in some Shakespeare reboot. He manipulated the legal system to take away our home. He's not the person you think he is. He's vindictive, controlling, honestly, probably a narcissist. Ashley chimed in around minute 4, holding back tears. Badly. I just don't understand how someone can have so much and still be so cruel. Cruel. For reclaiming my own house? For stopping the money train after years of freeloading. But the best part? The comments. They were ruthless. Didn't y'all get kicked out of a house you didn't own? Ashley, weren't you the one pouring wine in the guy's hot tub talking about manifesting abundance? Let me guess. Kyle also stole your Hogwarts letter? Within 20 minutes, number team Kyle was trending. I didn't start it. I didn't have to. The internet knows a clout chaser when it sees one. People pulled receipts, old TikToks, screenshots of Ashley's posts from inside my house, side-by-side Zillow photos showing exactly where they filmed each one. Tyler deleted the live. But the clips? Already viral. Someone made a remix with the ring footage of Ashley screaming in the driveway, added trap beats, called it Luxury Ghosted. Millions of views. Meanwhile, my mom tried damage control. She sent a mass Facebook message to our extended family with some long-winded apology/justification about how things had been misunderstood, and that Kyle's reaction came from a place of hurt. My Aunt Renee replied, "He built the house. Y'all got greedy. Sit down." Family group chat, muted for eternity. But here's where it gets poetic. I wasn't done. Because remember how I said I'd been paying for so many things behind the scenes? Well, a few years back, I helped Tyler refinance a car loan. He needed a cosigner. I agreed. Stupid, I know. But I had the foresight to put in a clause that gave me legal claim to the vehicle if payments defaulted. Guess what he stopped doing when he thought he was a king? Sandra filed for repossession. That same week, Ashley was supposed to appear at some sponsored pop-up event for a beauty brand. She hyped it for days, said it was her comeback moment. She arrived in a rideshare, in front of a crowd of followers, in front of a camera crew. As the tow truck took Tyler's Jeep from the parking lot, she lost it. Full-on meltdown. Screaming at the driver, at Tyler, at the sky. People filmed it. She slapped a phone out of someone's hand. That clip hit TMZ. Headline: Influencer loses it as boyfriend's Jeep gets towed at brand event. That brand dropped her before the event even ended. Sponsors backed out. Reputation in ashes. And me? I was at home, feet up, pizza in the oven, watching the carnage unfold. No guilt, no regrets, just satisfaction. Because you don't get to rob someone of peace, then cry when they pull the plug. Update 2. Okay, so first off, some of y'all are absolutely feral in my DMs, and I love it. Favorite messages so far. You served them eviction with a soundtrack. Are you single? Petition to make your house a museum for karmic justice. And whoever said, this is the Game of Thrones finale we deserved, you win the internet. Now, let me answer a few FAQs, because I've gotten hundreds of variations. Did your family ever apologize? Sort of. My mom sent a 2-line email. Hope you're well. We all make mistakes. That was it. No sorry. No acknowledgement. Just a vague platitude like I'd missed a dentist appointment, not been publicly betrayed by my own blood. What happened to Tyler and Ashley? Last I heard, they broke up. Shocking, I know. Tyler's couch hopping, trying to get hired at a startup he once mocked me for working at. Ashley rebranded as a healing empowerment coach. She sells $75 Zoom meditations now. Do you regret it? Not one damn bit. Because here's what really changed. I stopped letting people eat at my table who wouldn't bring a chair for me. I rebuilt my space, deleted every trace of them, and started saying no without guilt. My peace? Priceless. My revenge? Surgical. And as for the house? Yeah, it's still mine. Only now, it's exactly how I want it. Quiet, safe, sacred, stay petty Reddit, and never forget. Sometimes the nicest thing you can do is let them think they've won until you pull the rug. Peace didn't come easy. Not right away. After the storm, after the tweets and the tabloids and the emotional bloodbath, I didn't feel powerful. I didn't feel victorious. I felt empty, like I'd been holding this massive wall up for so long, and now that it finally crashed down, all I had left was dust and silence. I started waking up at 3 a.m., with my heart pounding for no reason, kept checking my phone like another bomb would drop. Maybe another fake apology, maybe another Ashley rant gone viral. Maybe my mom finally saying the words I knew I'd never hear. She didn't. Instead, I got a card in the mail. Plain white envelope, no return address. Inside, it was just 4 words. You were never enough. Typed, no handwriting, no signature, petty, cowardly, cruel. It didn't take a genius to guess who sent it. The timing was perfect. Right after I posted a photo of the house's new deck setup, new furniture, warm lighting, a caption that said simply, mine again. Jules wanted me to report it. I didn't. I just held it over the sink, lit a match, and watched it curl and blacken into nothing. That night, I threw a party. Not for revenge, not to gloat, to reclaim the space, just 20 people. No influencers, no family, no drama. Friends, real ones. The kind who'd brought me soup when I got the flu and helped me move without asking for pizza. We drank on the rooftop. We watched the sun dip behind the ocean. Somebody brought a guitar. Jules made a toast. Said, to Kyle, whose house is smarter than half the people we went to high school with, and whose spine is made of titanium. I laughed. For real. For the first time in months, I laughed without bitterness clinging to the edge of it. After everyone left, I stood alone in the kitchen, barefoot, sipping water, the same tile floor I'd once curled up on, whispering, 2 more days. It hit me then. What I'd really done. I didn't just win. I didn't just kick out the people who tried to erase me. I rewrote the entire narrative. They called me a burden. I became the standard. They said I didn't deserve luxury, so I made luxury answer to me. That house, the one they tried to steal, the one they paraded around like a trophy, is mine again. Not just legally, energetically. Every room, every beam, every square inch is scrubbed of their stink. I replaced the speakers they broke, painted over the scuffs Tyler's shoes left in the hallway, scrubbed lipstick from the mirror Ashley used for her GRWM videos. And then, I closed the door. Literally, metaphorically, emotionally. Because the revenge was never really about getting even. It was about reminding myself who the hell I am. A year later, nobody talks about it. Not at holidays, not at birthdays, not even when Tyler showed up last Thanksgiving alone, thin, quieter than I've ever seen him, and sat at the far end of the table like a guest in his own life. He didn't look at me. I didn't force it. Ashley's name hasn't been spoken since the Instagram meltdown. Her accounts are gone. Rumor is she moved out of state, started a healing retreat in Nevada. She still owes Tyler $5,000. Chloe stopped tagging crystals in her stories. Works part-time at a boutique downtown now. We pass each other sometimes. She never meets my eye. As for my parents, they sent a group text in March. Family brunch this Sunday. Hope you can join. No acknowledgement, no reckoning, just the unspoken hope that time would sand down the edges. I didn't respond, because here's what they'll never understand. You don't get to exile someone from their own sanctuary, call it character growth, then wander back in like nothing shattered. You don't get to pick convenience over truth, then expect a hug when the lie rots. So I made my own rituals now. Every Sunday I sit on the deck, fresh coffee, book in hand, music low, just me, the ocean breeze, and the house they thought I wasn't worthy of. Sometimes Jules joins. Sometimes I'm alone. Either way, I'm home. No chaos, no wine-slick influencers, no whispers behind doors I bought and installed. Just peace. And the sound of silence, that beautiful, earned silence where betrayal used to echo. If I'm being honest, I don't think I'll ever fully forgive them. Not for what they did, but for how easily they did it, for how quick they were to believe I was less, for how little they saw me. But I also don't carry that like a blade anymore. I just carry it like a scar, healed, but there. And sometimes that's enough. Not revenge, not justice, not even closure. Just a life rebuilt on your own terms. And the quiet knowing, deep in your bones, that when they tried to write you out of your own story, you rewrote the whole damn book.